Dave made this beat.
Welcome to Say Like a Champ, episode 185. It's your boy A-Dub.
Hey, boy, she's back in the building. What's going on, SLAC fam? What's good, dog?
What's good, man? I'm feeling good. Everything's lovely. Another week gone by so fast, though.
I know.
I feel like time is definitely just in fast forward all the time. We're creeping up on the end of March, the end of the first quarter already, man. So it's pretty crazy, pretty wild. Also creeping up on episode 200. We're in the countdown mode for that for sure. That's going to be very exciting, and we still got to make some fun plans for that for sure. For later this year. But things are good, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Things are doing well. I might actually apply for a social media position for just a little, some extra income or whatever. I'm already doing social media, so I might, if I get this job, I'll be taking care of this company's social media stuff. But it'd be kind of nice to be able to kind of flows with like my gym stuff. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see if I get it. But yeah, everything's growing, man. YouTube going up, everything's going up. So I'm excited.
Hey, that's cool. And there's lots of opportunity that way. And you never know, working for somebody else, they'll just keep you kind of more focused and learn some different things too. So that's gangster.
Exactly.
I do want to welcome some slackers to the show. We got Moms in the building. She says, "What's up?" Also, Pops, good evening to all. And then we got Stephanie Washington. Hey, y'all. And speaking of social media managers right there, that's what she does for a living out in Vegas as well. So you could always chop it up with her, for some tips and tricks and stuff. She says it's a fun job, Strizzy. Hope you get it. So that's what's up, man.
Yeah, I might actually hit you up. I might actually hit your inbox and after the show. So be on the lookout for your boy.
Yeah, she's got your back. That's what's up, man. That would be definitely a little bit different. And speaking of a little bit different for episode 185, we are going to do things a little bit different today. Just because, we can switch it up and be flexible. We're going to jump into March Madness first. We're going to talk about other sports and then kind of work our way up to our big topic of the day, which is NFL free agency. That's really so much going on with that the legal tampering period is open. So that's what's up. We also got Grace Williams. She says hello and happy Tuesday. Got the Shamrock on there. Be ready to wear green later this week already too. So
and that is coming up, huh? Is that the 17th?
Yeah, that's Friday. So so get your green stuff ready for sure. I think you know what? Actually, I'm sorry. I think we want to do one more thing for the intro as we're doing things a little bit differently, but we do want to fill out the panel. And we do have a warm welcome for our brother back to the show. He's very busy, but whenever we can get a chance to get this man on the show, we always love it. We value his opinion so much. And he's live and direct from it looks like a new location. I can't really see. We're about to bring him on. We'll find out what's going on with that. What's good? What's good, brother?
What up? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Cool.
Yeah, we got you loud and clear, man. So I had to give you the big intro because it's looking really clean back there, man. It's looking. I like the setup.
Yeah, this wasn't on purpose. I was supposed to do it today, but I had to do it because my schedule was crazy today, man. So
dang,
we made it work.
Yeah, I believe it. You're always on the go, man. But I'm glad we got to catch you at this spot. For sure, man. So that's exciting. How you doing though? Everything's okay?
Everything's good, man. How everybody doing? Y'all good?
Yeah, straight, bro.
I see Mom, Pops, Miss Stephanie. What's up? I know Uncle will be on here a little later, but I apologize for missing last week, man. Last week was, man, it's been tough lately, man. But we here,
bro. We see you. We see you.
We definitely see you out there active, man. We're just trying to be like you, man, as busy as you. So. But we are gonna do it a little bit differently. So let's go ahead and jump into our first topic of the day. Let's go with this one.
All right, guys, it's your boy Strizzy. We're wrapping it up with the Overweight Championship of the World. Getting back to the studio, guys, in 3, 2.
Whoa. No wrap up yet. Hold on. What are you going back to the studio for? Mr. A is right here. Overweight champion of the world.
For other sports.
For other sports like what?
Like golf.
Like golf. Mr. A can play golf.
And tennis.
Tennis, sure. Soccer, baseball, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Mr. A can do all that, especially hockey too. I even go on ice.
Okay.
No reason to go back to that. Other sports is right here. We got other sports right here.
You heard it here first. We got other sports right here.
All right. Other sports, we're going to start off a little bit different today. Let's go ahead and pull up our graphics, though, and get it right. Get it popping here. Where's my graphics at? There we go. Okay. Other sports, and we're going to start off with the NCAA tournament. And, we don't always talk too much college basketball, but March Madness times, we got to get in on the fever. We definitely got to get in on the excitement. So we are doing our March Madness tournament. You can hit the link in the bio or go to saylikeachamp.com to join in with us. And I'm going to be throwing my brackets out there. You can throw up to 2 brackets out there for free, and we are going to be doing a prize for whoever has the best bracket. Here on the screen, we have our 4 top seeds are represented: Alabama, Kansas, Houston, and Purdue as well. What do you guys think? Are you guys excited for March Madness?
I mean, not as much as I normally would be. UNC, that's whack lately. But yeah, man.
They completely out?
Yeah, they're not on the record at all. They're out.
They didn't make the tournament.
Yep. Wow. Like the first time ever, I think the preseason number 1 school didn't actually make the tournament. So they were number 1 at the beginning of the season, and they didn't even make it. They're horrible though, dog.
That's crazy though.
And they were there with pretty much the same team as last year. They were in the championship game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Not much has changed. So that is pretty crazy. Yeah, I'm not as excited as usual either, but that's just because I haven't really gotten into it. I did watch a little bit of the championship tournaments this weekend, just to see what's going on, and I definitely have been kind of interested in Alabama since they had that interesting off the court stuff going on. But they look like they're really solid. They got the number 1 overall number 1 seed. So yeah, we'll see how it plays out. But I always just look forward to the upsets and the little Cinderella stories that kind of emerge. So we'll see who it is this year with that going on. So
that'd be crazy if Alabama win the whole thing. Is like they got basketball too now. So
I know.
Like, basketball's never been good, and now all of a sudden, and they were good last year too.
Yeah. They've been holding up nicely.
Who's their best player out of Alabama? Is it Jermichael Green or is it Sexton? Like, who you think is the best? Do y'all know offhand who the best out of Alabama?
Ever? I don't know.
Not
Probably
offhand,
Sexton.
but I know. I mean, when you're thinking like, I really can't go too far back. You know what I mean? Because like I said, Alabama really hasn't been too great. That's what I feel like. It might be Colin Sexton. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
he's nice. So who knows?
We'll see. I think that's who I would say right now though too. But this kid that they have right now, he's pretty legit too. So
he's pretty good, man. He's pretty good.
I'm interested to see where he goes in the draft, if he's the top pick or not. And then the dude for Purdue, Ely or Early or whatever his name is, this big dude over here, he's like, he's like 7'4". He's kind of looking like Yao Ming, especially because in college, most teams just don't have height like that.
Right.
So I'm interested to see if he has a big tournament. I like the fact that Purdue just goes to him over and over. I did watch him play a little bit, and they just go straight through their big man. So maybe they'll make a long run. We'll see. We do got Unk in the building. Hello from Texas. Hope the time change didn't throw you off too much. We don't change. Arizona doesn't change, so we are always at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, but that might change depending on where you're at. So, but glad to have you guys with us. And that didn't trip us up too much. Oh, Unk says Robert Horry played for Alabama.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
That's pretty legit. In terms of
so he might be the best. He got 7 rings, so he might be the best.
That's up there. Before we transition out of that, though, just one last reminder: hit the link in the bio and get in on our tournament. I think we have like 5 people in there so far, so hopefully we can get a little bit more people in there to get a competition going. But the brackets close out. I think you have to do it by Thursday. I think the tournament starts on Thursday.
There's nothing before the first game, something like that.
Yeah, they're doing the actual play-in games. The extra games are today and tomorrow. to determine those additional like 16 seed so yeah, the actual tournament I think starts on Thursday, and there'll be lots of basketball to watch through the weekend. So that's what's up with that. Also, I did have a question though for you, Marcus. We talked last week about Liv that's going to be in Tucson this weekend. Are you going to try to make it out for that, or are you interested? Would you be wanting to see that?
I would have went, but I have a crazy weekend. I have a couple of big funerals I got to do. So it's going to be kind of tough, but I would have loved to went, but it starts on the 17th, so that would be the only day I could probably go out there and come back. But if it was like a little closer, like Phoenix or something like that, I would probably did it. But it's gonna be kind of hard to go way out there and come back. But
yeah,
true.
Yeah, I feel that. That's what I was thinking too. I was like, man, if there's some way I could sneak down there like Thursday night and then just wake up, go early, early Friday, and then come back, or something like that, that would be really cool. But the tickets weren't so bad. I think it was like $30 for general admission. And then they had different packages that you could get where you get like, access to like different little areas to watch it. They're kind of trying to set it up, obviously not like TPC, but not like Scottsdale, but they're trying to kind of make it like a stadium too, where you can have a good viewing. We'll see how it goes, but it is a lot of big names in one spot. That's for sure. When it comes to Liv. And I think also that they might not make it very long. So I kind of want to try to see one because it might be something that doesn't exist in like 3-4 years. You know what I'm saying? So
I don't know, man. I think the biggest change that really happened, and I think more people might go to Liv because it's official now that they can play in all 4 majors now. Right. So being able to play in the majors is huge. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm getting paid doing this other stuff. Now I can play in this one too, and it's gonna make the rivalry even more because the PJ guys trying to beat these guys now. You know what I'm saying? So if the Liv guys win majors, it's like, oh shit, what's going on? So I ain't gonna lie, I think Liv might be around a little long because it's gonna be a good like WCW versus WWF type thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so it's like, so I think it's gonna be cool because they have good players over there now too. So the major's it's already tense and already like, so with these other guys, you trying to beat them and you trying to beat your other guys too. So it's gonna be kind of cool. So I don't know, man. I think they keep the money going. I think it's gonna be around a little long. So I'm excited about this year, the 4 majors, because it's gonna be super intense though. So
yeah, they'll be repping their side too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what's up. All right, so we'll definitely see that. Ugg says we need Marcus on the tour, and he's working his way out there. And Strizzy, you're working your way out there too, huh? You've been out there swinging the sticks too.
Yeah, I was gonna go today, but I ran out of time, so I actually might go tomorrow again.
That's what's up.
We're gonna get out there and play. Like I said, I'm about to start. I'm at the point now. I'm about to start slowing stuff down here. So golfing gonna be a lot more going right now. So we're gonna be out there together, man, having fun.
That's what's up, man. We're gonna do our retirement type of stuff early. You know what I'm saying? While we can still enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? Just having free time playing golf. That sounds beautiful. But all right, so let's move on from that. One other sports topic we did have is the World Baseball Classic that's going on, and Japan is one of the teams that's clinched their spot in the next round already. They're doing really good. USA is struggling a little bit, but they're hanging in there. They're in a very competitive group, but so far from the weekend, the biggest thing I noticed watching the games is the fans have just been out at every game. Every game has been packed. It's been a really fun experience. That's really cool.
I'm right down the street from it right now too. I'm like I can walk to the stadium from where I'm at right now, and it's bananas down here. I hate even coming down here right now because they out here, dude. Like they out here.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. The U.S. versus Mexico game on Sunday night was like, it was like a Mexico takeover for sure. Which it usually is when they play soccer out here too. But I think that was really cool experience. But Mexico beat down the U.S., so the U.S. had to kind of bounce back a little bit. They are playing tonight, so we'll see. But Strizzy, did you get a chance to check out some of the World Baseball Classic?
Just highlight stuff, man. I think like the very first game for the U.S., I think they were favored by like 8.5 runs or something like that. I was like, that's crazy part about it. It was like they went crazy. So like, normally I would never take that in baseball. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But they you know what I'm saying, made it happen. It was crazy.
Yeah, they did have the mercy run rule in effect for this tournament because they're playing so many games back to back. So some of the games have only gone 7 innings, which is pretty crazy to see that at like a top professional level. So
right.
One story I did want to talk about though that was really cool was this kid. His name is Duke Herbert, and he plays for Nicaragua. Now Nicaragua has already basically been eliminated from the tournament, but he's a young pitcher. He's 21 years old, and he was not affiliated with any pro team going into this tournament, but he was able to face in the ninth inning. He came in to basically close out the game, and he faced 4 top all-stars from the MLB, 4 all-star professionals, and he ended up striking out 3 of them. The only one that got him was Manny Machado hit a double, but literally after that game, somebody that works for the Tigers that has connections to the Nicaragua team came out and offered him a contract, basically. So as now that they've been eliminated from the World Baseball Classic, he's going to be heading out actually to spring training, and hopefully he can get in their minor league system. But that was just a really cool story. You get to see players that are put on a different stage, and getting a chance to compete against guys that they would really never get to match up against. And he stood in there and did his thing and ended up being a contract for him, potential to make it to the major. So that's what's up.
Yeah, that's like when dreams come true, man. And it's funny hearing about that too. It was, I finally watched Rise last night. The Kubo brothers story, and man, it's crazy. You know what I mean? Like everything that they had to go through and persevere. Like same thing. It's insane. Everything that went to have to be able to play some basketball. So shout out to him, dude. That's crazy. He got a shot and he went all for it.
Yeah, most definitely. I thought that was really cool. Feel good story, and I want to check out that movie too, just to see what that's all about. So,
yep.
All right. I think that's pretty much it, though. We'll transition into our next topic, and like we said before, we're kind of going backwards through this thing, so we can build up to our big topic. So let's see what's next. All right, NBA talk. So, we're kind of counting down to the end of the season, and the big shakeup at the trade deadline was Kevin Durant coming to the Phoenix Suns. He did play 3 games for the Suns and did very well, but before his home debut, which would have been his home debut, he did roll his ankle. So we're looking at basically all of the home fans that got to see Kevin Durant in his uniform. Unfortunately, after that, warm up, he was pulled out of the game, and now it's looking like he's going to be out for at least 2 to 3 weeks, but basically out until late in the season. So, Marcus, I wanted to start with you to see what your reaction was to Kevin Durant's little injury bug this year.
It's kind of funny. I had 3 buddies. One of my buddies, his birthday was that day, so he was like, he said, "Matter of fact, I'm gonna go to the game." I said, "All right, okay, cool." He took his 2 brothers, and I was a little jealous because I had to work. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, they gonna get to see Kevin Durant today. And then I seen somebody was like, "Hey, man, did you hear Kevin Durant not playing?" I thought it was a joke. You know what I'm saying? I said, "Really?" I said, so I turned the game on, and he wasn't. I'm like, he's not in the game. But I thought he got hurt like in the first quarter, something like that. Right. And then I found out that he didn't even play. So my buddy said he went to the restroom, and he said when he came back to the seat that he felt like the whole in the Adam room was just, it wouldn't hype no more. He's like, "What's going on?" And the brother said, "Man, they just announced that Kevin Durant not even going to play tonight." So he was like, they were sick. They paid almost $500 a ticket, you know what I'm saying? Because it's his first game. It was packed, you know what I'm saying? They wanted to see Durant, and then you pretty much wasted all your money, you know what I'm saying, going to this game. He's hurt, man. So it's like, I don't know, man. I wouldn't say he's a Brandon Roy or Greg Oden, but because he still come back and play a little bit, but he's like, man, like the little things. But I know whoever supposed to clear that spot up, I think he slipped a little bit. I don't think he just all of a sudden just tweaked it, like he slipped a little bit. So that person who did that, man, I know he pretty much got fired for that. But it's just like, man, why can't he? It's like he got a curse on him ever since he went to Golden State, man. It's just like that curse is still out on him, man, for doing that. Like the basketball god said, "I know you did that. You're gonna get your championships, but we're gonna be on you for the rest of your career." Yeah. So it's like, ugh.
I don't know. What do you think?
That's crazy, man. You know what I mean? Like, that's funny. I feel like Kevin Durant could have put like more muscle on his body if he really wanted to. Like, that's just his body type, right? So I feel like, kind of sucks that the floor was wet, you know what I'm saying? So you gotta be more, cognitive to that, you know what I'm saying, when your guys are out there doing warm-ups, man. But that really sucks. Having him miss that much time. And they basically said that he might he'll be reevaluated, but there's a really good chance that he misses the entire rest of the regular season and some into the actual playoffs. So if that's the case, that's rough because the West is so loaded. The Suns, I think, are 4th right now, so they have to really be kind of careful on I don't want to say careful, but they should be worried with who they play first because there's in the West 1 through 8 is tough, right?
Right.
And they traded away all their depth. So you got KD. I think me and Marcus mentioned this when he first got traded. Like, yeah, man. Like if everybody's healthy, they might be the team to beat. But like right now, a big piece of that, your core is not healthy. So when you don't have the depth to that team anymore, you basically traded away all your pieces to grab them. That really, really hurts your chances. So hopefully, for their sake, he can get back in time. Hopefully, he gets a faster recovery. But as y'all know, man, body don't heal as fast as it used to when you hit that 30 mark. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. We'll see.
It's crazy too because when they happened though, he finished working out though. Like he still was doing his thing. But when you do an ankle thing, when you stop moving, that's when that sucker starts swelling up, boy. So that's probably what happened.
Yeah, and he probably knew too. He was like, if once I do stop moving, it's over with.
But it's a junior going too because this is his first home game. The vibe was really good, so he probably didn't really feel it yet. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But when he got in that back, that sucker was probably like a meatloaf back there. So
I do feel like a twinge bad for the Suns fans though, because it is true that everybody was talking about this, waiting for this game, circle this game. Oh, when is he going to finally play here? And the ticket prices were going up for the rest of the season already. So, but yeah, they figured they would have that time to kind of ramp up and to get things together and to figure out how he's going to fit in. Fortunately for them, he's a great basketball player. He knows how to fit in. So, hopefully they won't need that much buildup if he does come back right for the playoffs. But yeah, hopefully it doesn't nag though. This year especially, he's been injured all year, basically in and out. So,
I
want what your mindset though too, man. Like you think of you, Kevin Durant. How do you feel like? I'm always getting hurt. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why this is happening? So you got to have a strong mind. Yeah, you got to have a strong mind too.
That's true.
Yeah, most definitely. Speaking of having a strong mind and mental wellness in general, we did want to talk about Ja Morant. He entered a counseling program officially. He's still away from the team. And Marcus, we didn't get a chance to hear your thoughts on this last week. But I there were some developments. So let me just get your take on it real quick, and then we'll look at something real quick, and then we'll move on from this.
It's something real quick. I know what they're trying to do. I know it's serious. He got kids watching them. He got people watching them like that. But honestly, I think it's going a little too much. Like now, people out there and got caught shooting people or trying to kill somebody and all that, I can understand. But I just feel that he's a black guy. He got the dreads, and I think it's a little too much right now. I think he should be playing back right now. I see a couple of games like they said at first, 2 games, maybe 3 games, then he's spinning. Okay, cool, you learn a lesson. But they don't know when he'll come back. I think they pushing it too much.
Yeah, and I'm wondering too if I know what you're saying, right? Because it is a big deal, but it's like when he initially stepped away, like a couple games or whatever, like you said, like maybe if he would have gotten back to the flow of things, but the longer he's away, I feel like the story is going to continue to get bigger and bigger. And not to say that it should just be swept under the rug, but it's like it's easier to get past things when you move past them. But now it's like there's no even timetable for that. So that's very interesting. Strizzy, what do you think though?
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of them things. It's one of those things where it's like I do agree with you in that sense though. Like the longer he's away from the team, the more people are going to look into it. Now you're gonna have people looking into literally every single thing this kid has done, his entire life, right? Like, something did come out where like they're talking about him having an actual problem with alcoholism. You know what I mean? So that plays a role in it. You know what I'm saying? So, and a lot of videos, of course, like I said, like have stemmed up of like him and drinking with his family and whole bottles. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not just him like just taking little drinks, family reunion stuff. Like he drinking pretty heavy. But we also want he got to get back a week or so before playoff time. You know what I mean? Like, don't stay gone too long. You can still get help, while you're with the team and being with the team. Like, those are your guys. And Marcus is right to an extent, too, where it's like, let's not – it is a serious situation. He is being watched, and he is a representative of the NBA. Like that is his job. That is his employer. So at the same time, you are still representing that brand too. But I think the farther away, the longer he is away from the team, I think, the more it's going to help because they're going to want to get him back into the rotation and with those guys before playoffs and stuff start. So, he can get help while he's still with the team, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, no, I agree with that. And I think that might be the better way because entering a counseling program, do whatever you got to do to get help for sure. Like, I'm not saying that, but also entering a counseling program, like where the environment is very controlled, it might be easier to move past things, right? But then it's like, you're going to go right back out there on the road. You got to make sure you have a stable support system with you where you're going, or to make sure, like you said last week, Trizzy, like the company you keep has your best interest at heart and is you kind of trying to help you through that. So, so we'll see what happens. Now, I have one more slide here, but I kind of want to skip it. Like, I don't know, but I did want to talk about this where I do think that I'm not making excuses for Ja Morant, but I do think it kind of sucks for him is that the gentleman's club that he was at released photos and basically sold photos to TMZ and to the New York Post. And like that to me, I just think you're supposed to be like, a confidential type of space, right? Where people
a cool player, comfortable, yeah.
I feel like to me that place should be boycotted, by like stars, where it's like because you're supposed to be able to go in there and it's supposed to be like Vegas to a certain extent, like what you do there, when you leave out, like it stays there. So I don't know. I thought that was pretty whack.
That's actually crazy. They can't control him going live on his own Instagram doing that stuff, But yeah, if I'm a celebrity or if I've got money that I'm dropping in there like crazy, which he probably was, I'm not ever going there. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
like,
that's the thing.
I'll snitch it.
Marcus, what were you gonna say?
Oh no.
Because I have the photo, but I'm like, I don't even know. I don't want to even perpetuate that. But also, I'm like, dang, did you guys see this? Because it's kind of crazy.
I seen it. I wouldn't show it. Me personally, like. So I get what you're saying though, man. But it's like,
yeah. For sure. Pop says, Unc says there's alcohol is the worst drug, easily available and inexpensive.
Yep.
Pop says there's been a pattern of behavior, stupid choices, too much to lose. Yeah. No, I agree.
If anybody's got to be there to kind of help him get right, it's got to be his dad. His dad has to stop looking at the money that he brings in and start looking at the product that he put out. You know what I'm saying?
But it is pretty crazy, though, too, about the strip club. I was going to say, because Unc said here a strip club will lose a lot of business going forward. I do hope that's true. And I am going to skip over that. You guys can just imagine to the right of Ja Morant there what was going on. But I did learn, though, too, that it was his second night there. So, like, he went there when they first landed in Denver, and he had a big blowout affair. And then 2 nights later, they played the Nuggets. They lost, and he went there. The second time was when he had the IG Live incident. Yeah. So I'm like, dang, he was like really helping y'all out in your pocket. Like he was going there as a return customer because he was treated well and he had a good time the first time. So it's like, man, that's messed up that he got put out there like that. So
yeah,
it's crazy. But it's also too a reminder, like you should never return to the scene of the crime. Like sometimes when people have a good time, they want to go back again, but they're like, oh, we got to do it even bigger this time. You know what I'm saying? And then that's when you can get in trouble. But he's still young. Hopefully he's learning and growing. But I do want to see him back in the NBA doing what he's doing what he does. So
yeah.
All right. Next up, I did want to talk about this. Marcus Smart and Trae Young got into a little bit of a beef, and Marcus Smart was fined $25,000 for the scuffle. He ended up kind of taking him down. It was weird. It was like he took them both down. Like he was like, we're just going down when he grabbed him. But Marcus Smart is like really like an antagonist. Like this is like he's always just seems like to me down to fight, ready to fight. So do you think this was a serious one, or do you think it's worth the fine? I kind of wanted to get your guys' reactions to the little scuffle.
I would say you definitely need to fine. You should have played Trae Young. He didn't do it on purpose. So what he did, but I also understand Marcus Smart's situation too. Because like when he got hit at, it's like, hey man. So I think you said, hey man, leave it there. But the way if you look see how he took him down, he could have injured him really bad, man. He could have ended his season. So you gotta kind of be careful with that. But Marcus, like I said, Marcus Smart is like try to be a tough guy. But how he took him down, yeah, I give him a fine. If he wouldn't have did that, then don't fine him. But he could have ended his season. How he took him down was pretty hard.
Yeah, and he didn't even care for his own safety either. He's like, we're both crashing down. Like that was kind of crazy. All Also, we did have another fight too. Strizzy, jump in on that one if you want to too. But then we had another fight, Bucks and the Kings last night. And I wanted to know too, just in general, but is it just me or has there been a lot of fights in the NBA this year? I feel like they're way more feisty. It's not like the AAU, everybody's a friend anymore as much. You know what I'm saying? They're not going back to the 90s, but I feel like there's been a lot more fights this year, if I'm not mistaken.
I think maybe they're getting tired of everyone or everyone saying that none of them are about that life. You know what I'm saying? Like,
they're not.
Exactly. and I agree they're not. So I think they're just trying to prove something that they don't need to prove. Like, I don't care how much money you make, $25,000, that's a lot of money. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Like, and for what? Like, I'm sorry. Like, I watched that replay over and over and over again, and like, I understand. Like, you know, and you're that close, NBA. Like, you're gonna get hit. You know what I mean? But I don't think Trey did that maliciously, and Smart taking him down like that was also completely unnecessary. It's not like he was holding on to him and somebody pushed him and they fell. Like, he just literally just held on to him and just fell down. It was done. It was pointless. But like yeah, all this fight needs to stop. Your money is not worth it. No one's actually going to really throw hands. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're Draymond Green. But you know, exactly right. But aside from that, like, you know what I'm saying? They just talking. Look at them. They talking.
But I have to give Brick Lopez his credit though. Brick Lopez ain't no punk dog. Like Brick Lopez was looking for the heat. Yeah, he be looking for the heat. But the dude did smush Brooke though. Like he got smushed. Like you're like, man, get out of here. Yeah. So that was kind of cool. But like you said, we have never seen an actual like fight. I can't name one. Jordan might have been the closest one, and then RIP to Kobe. He got 2 pieces by Chris Childs. True. But other than that, that's the only one I seen punches thrown. Yeah. But you know, like Charles Barkley and Shaq, they threw some punches, but they didn't connect. So you never really seen a fight in basketball, but football you have seen. They just scuffling, man.
Yeah. It is pretty crazy though that like you have a whole nother sport in hockey where they'll let you fight. They're like, all right, we're gonna go ahead and let y'all squabble a little bit. I think that would bring a whole new the NBA. There'd be a lot less talking because you would have certain types that's like, all right, then let's step to the tip off. You know what I'm saying? That would be crazy if the refs are like, all right, y'all go to the tip, the jump circle, and have court. And y'all got 10 seconds. Like,
you got 10 seconds. Get it in.
Yeah. So that's crazy though. Unk mentions the Malice and the Palace, but I guess that's really different because, I mean, it was fighting, but they were fighting the fans though.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was more a fan scuffle than actual player scuffle.
Yeah.
Unk says Trey is on borrowed time in Atlanta if he doesn't improve. That does kind of suck that, you know, it does look like he's not going to make it there. Also, Unk says De'Aaron Fox is a monster. Man, the Kings are really good, but I did want to ask you this because we talked about it a little bit last week, Marcus, but did the Kings scare you, though, in the playoffs? Or yeah, that's what I was afraid of.
I'm happy for the coach. He definitely get coach of the year. I really like De'Aaron Fox when he came out with the Ball brother, you know what I'm saying? And when he went to Kentucky and he did his thing. But I think they got to grow a little bit. So I think it's a growing thing for him. But I'm happy it's good for the NBA to see Shaq Town back in there, you know what I'm saying? Shaq, I think he still owns them a little too. So is he still own the Kings a little bit? Like he did at one point.
I don't know.
But I think it's good for the NBA to see them doing good. I'm happy to see Sabonis there doing his thing too. So I just think I think they'll get there, but they're not gonna scare anybody. I think they get put out first round, but
gotcha.
16 years is a long time. They haven't been in the playoffs, so
true. Right. No, that's real. That's real. I think that's great to end that streak. And maybe it is something that they can build on. Maybe they make a run, maybe you know they get to the second round and then they come back next year stronger, a little bit more wiser.
Yeah.
But that's what's up. All right. Let's go ahead and move on from that. Unk says Kings are my dark horse, but we'll see. That would be definitely different, but I don't trust him. I'm kind of like you, Marcus. I don't trust him quite
not yet.
But all right. Unless Drizzy, do you have anything else for NBA before we move to our number one topic?
Nah, I think that pretty much hits everything that's happened last week.
All right, cool. And let's jump back. Let's make it happen. Drizzy, what's up next?
Oh, let's check it out, man, real quick.
Tuned to NFL Talk.
Let's get it. All right, NFL Talk. We got the free agent frenzy going on. And basically, now this is the legal tampering period. It started basically yesterday. And then tomorrow at like 12 p.m. or like 3 p.m., something like that, is when the actual contracts can be signed. So as long as nobody goes back on their word, this is where they're going to end up landing. Last year we had a couple people, right, that agreed to terms, but then when it came to Wednesday, they kind of flipped. But I don't expect that this year. I did want to kind of get into this. We'll go through the free agents, then we'll go through the trade news, and then we'll go through some more releases and things like that. But the biggest free agent news, or the most interesting, I guess, to me, would be Jimmy G to the Raiders to replace Carr. And then they also signed Jacoby Myers from the Patriots to be like a little weapon for him. What do you guys think of Jimmy G? Is that just like too bland, boring, or do you think he can actually do something in Vegas?
I didn't like it. I was hoping Aaron Rodgers went there or somebody else. Because to me, they're getting the same quarterback as Derek Carr a little bit, maybe a little less than Derek Carr. So
right,
I didn't like it at all. I like to see Jimmy G go somewhere else, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I almost thought Jimmy G would be going somewhere as like a high-priced backup type of situation.
Yeah, exactly.
And Vegas is all about having excitement, right? So it's like you did kind of downgrade, and Carr wasn't the best, but you know what I'm saying, you didn't really improve. So, Strizzy, you feel like that too?
Yeah, same way. I feel like this is safe, right? It's safe for their head coach. I think Josh McDaniels is safe for him because he hasn't had much success as a head coach, right? And that's what Jimmy G is. He's safe. You know what I mean? Like the Raiders are probably going to do decently well because Jimmy G's just safe. You know what I'm saying? He handles games well. He's not going to turn the ball over too much. Like, so they might be okay, especially with the ground game that they have. But I feel like McDaniels is continuously trying to turn his team into the Patriots because he also had Stidham from last year who took over for Carr later in the season. So who knows? He likes comfort. So it kind of makes sense, but it doesn't make sense for the Raiders organization. If I were the Raiders, especially getting rid of Waller, I would have gone all in and gone after Lamar.
That would have been crazy. That would have been exciting for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
That's
I do agree with that, though. That's a great assessment that this is kind of like just the safe move. And we'll see. Unk says, watch Jimmy G take the Raiders to the Super Bowl, then get benched like everywhere else. Yeah, it is kind of interesting, though. But, like, he's not going to go out there and win or do anything super spectacular, but he's not going to lose the game. He's going to play very solid. So, a couple other quarterbacks, Mike White, Strizzy's favorite. He went down to the Dolphins, and it looks like the Dolphins are basically going to stick with Tua. They did pick up his option and then have Mike White as a backup because they know that Tua will probably get hurt eventually. So that's pretty solid, but that's not exciting either, especially when they were talking about potentially being in the Lamar Jackson sweepstakes.
I thought that they were going to be on the Lamar Jackson sweepstakes. I looked at their cap space. They have none. they don't have it. Like they'd have to get rid of so much to get Lamar. It wouldn't even be worth it. So I actually completely understand why they took up Tua's 5th-year option and grabbed Mike White because they couldn't do it. There's no way. I don't think there's any way they could possibly make that work.
Yeah, I feel you. We also got Marcus's favorite backup quarterback on the board, Taylor Heineke, going to the Falcons, which is pretty solid. It looks like they're going to have Desmond Ridder be their number one, and then he'll be their backup. They also signed Jesse Bates away from the Bengals to play safety, so that's good. Atlanta's actually been on a little bit of a spending spree. So
who's their quarterback right now? Because Wentz is gone too, right?
Yeah. So they're going to actually go with the rookie Sam Howell or not rookie. I guess it's his 2nd year now from North Carolina. I think that's who they're going for. I think that's who they're going to do.
Okay.
Unless they do something different, or unless they,
we don't care. I'll just asking.
Right. But I know, but it's weird because Wentz they released, and then Heineke they didn't even try to get him back, which he's been solid every time they.
Yeah, that's crazy. But bye, peace out.
So I think that's a good spot for the Falcons, though, too, in case Ridder doesn't work out. In case he gets hurt, you got a guy that's a gamer that'll go in there and do us, kind of win you a couple games, maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see. Tremaine Edmonds from the Bills, he went to the Bears and got paid, which is interesting, right? Because the Bears gave up on Roquan Smith, who's, arguably one of the best middle linebackers in the game. And then they go out and overpay potentially for an outside linebacker. I just thought that was kind of weird to me, but I'm glad for him. Go get your money. But the Bills kind of lost a few players too. Strizzy, that's your team. What do you think about them losing their best linebacker?
Yeah, I'm kind of, I'm curious to see what they're going to do. I think they lost their defensive coordinator too. We'll see. They definitely, I think they're definitely trying to do something, make a couple of moves because they've been kind of stuck behind, the Chiefs and the Bengals the last 2 years, honestly. So
True.
I think that they're trying to make some moves, but they're going to find a way to continue to stay competitive because this AFC is only getting stronger, in my opinion, man. It's not getting weaker. So we'll see how they do next year. We might see them fall off a little bit. Not a lot. They're still very talented. We might see them fall off just a tad.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think they are going to fall off, actually. I feel like their best chance to win a Super Bowl was the last 2 years.
It was.
They're moving away from that based on how things are going. So, so we'll see. San Francisco, they signed Hargrave away from the Eagles, and this dude is a beast. And their defensive line is already so good. So that was a good signing. I'm like, dang, San Francisco is going to continue to just be beastly on defense, and then we'll see what happens on offense. They did sign Sam Darnold. I think it was Sam Darnold, that they signed. Yeah. So just to have another arm in camp, but it's really going to come down to Purdy and Trey Lance still. I still am curious. I think Trey Lance gets another shot, though. I don't know.
You have to.
I think so. But I know, Strizzy, I know you're sold on Purdy. So
it's over for Trey.
I think so. Now, obviously, there were so many other free agent signings, but I just tried to get some of the ones that were towards the top. And one I wanted to mention on here was Lazard being signed to the Jets, which was one of Aaron Rodgers' favorite targets. And I think I do want to go ahead and kind of jump to trade news. Now, we don't have official trade news for Aaron Rodgers, but it's basically being said that it's a done deal that he'll be going to the Jets. And I'm sorry, Unc, but we have to talk about it. What do you guys think about Aaron Rodgers to the Jets now that they've kind of cleared the cap space and also are grabbing one of his favorite targets from Green Bay?
I think
I'm gonna say I don't. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say, like, honestly, I have no idea what Aaron Rodgers they're gonna get. You know what I mean? Like, he hasn't looked very good. I guess 2 years ago he looked pretty decent when he was in the MVP talks, but last year he didn't. Right? But Jets do have a really good receiver in Garrett. Really good run and what's his Bryce Hall? I think it's Bryce Hall.
Brees Hall.
Yeah. So then he gets a familiar target with them signing Lazard. So defense could continue to hold up the way they did last year. Running game will be sound, so he doesn't have to do too much. I mean, it's definitely an upgrade. You know what I mean? Zach Wilson hasn't panned out, so I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of agree with you. I don't know what Aaron Rodgers are going to get, but it's interesting to me that he had like a wish list for them too. Apparently, supposedly there was like a wish list that he gave them that also includes OBJ, which I'm like, dang, you can't just be going somewhere. You're not even there yet. You're already like, hey, here's my list of demands,
Yeah.
So, but I don't know, Marcus, what do you think about? You think Aaron Rodgers to the Jets could work?
It's the AFC, so yeah, but I don't like him going there, but I think it's pretty much done. I think he already is there. Because he also got Running Cobb going there too. So Running Cobb, Lazard, and OBJ going there. I think he probably let them know, like, give me those guys and I'll come over there because he knows in his career, like last year, he had no receivers. So I think he's gonna make sure like he knows his ability is going down a little bit. So I think he's letting them know, for me to come over here, I want the money and I want these guys and we can make it run. It's still gonna be a tough division though too. So we'll see. Yeah. Because he's not going to an easy division. Like if he was going to the division like the Jaguars and the Houston Texans and the Colts, he can dominate over there. So this might be the first time he's going to a good division. So we'll see how they go. Let's make something happen.
That's a great point though, because in his divisions now, he's never really had a big contest. And he still missed the playoffs last year. So that's crazy. Let's see. Pop says Rodgers will ruin their locker room diva. Always wanted to get demanding stuff. Not worth it. Unc agrees with that. Pops also said Cowboys trade for Gilmore is an excellent move. I really like that too. I wasn't expecting them to go after somebody like that. And I understand he's not the Gilmore that he was 2-3 years ago. Even when he was with the Panthers, he's not that same Gilmore. But for a 5th round pick, that's somebody that he'll give you more production next year than anybody that you could have drafted in the 5th round, in my opinion. So I think that's pretty solid. I hope that helps the secondary a little bit more. And our defense was good last year without like 2 corners, with only having really 1 corner. So Marcus, I see you're shaking your head. What were your thoughts on the trade?
It just depends, man. They let him go for a reason, you know what I'm saying? So if he was that guy he'll still be there. They wouldn't have gave up 5th round. So
yeah.
To me, he's still better than Lewis, and he's still better than Anthony Brown. So I'll take him over those 2 guys. So hopefully they were part of the trade to get them out of there. But also I want to see. I like Blaine last year. I think Blaine's coming to his own. I think he should still start him and Diggs, or maybe they're moving Diggs somewhere. Maybe we don't know, So him being a nickelback would be probably good. I think he's still solid. He can play the slot receiver, so that'll help us out a little bit more. Him on the field, but if he don't start, I won't be surprised by that. But I think Blaine, he's gonna be a stud. And we got Diggs, so we'll see how it go. But he's definitely better than Lewis and Anthony Brown. So
yeah, and maybe he'll teach Bland and those other youngsters a thing or two. So that'll be cool. All right, so we've gotten past those, but the biggest trade news of the last week, though, and Strizzy, I've been really waiting to hear your thoughts on this. DJ Moore and a couple picks being traded to the Bears so that the Carolina Panthers can move up from number 9 to number 1. I know it kind of stung, but I want to hear your thoughts on the trade and you guys moving into position to have the number 1 pick.
Man, I hate it more than I like it. Tell you that much.
No.
Yeah, man. Let me explain why too. So, number 1, as a Panther fan, I lose my favorite Panther currently. You know what I'm saying? Like I lose my boy.
Yeah.
And on top of that, like we're gonna draft a rookie quarterback with no one to pass it to. You know what I'm saying? Like
that would be your blanket. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. That's his blanket. So like the positive is we locked up our offensive line from last year. Our offensive line was legit last year, finally. So we locked up everybody, so everyone was turning. But again, like a rookie with no one to pass, like that's scary. So
and you lost CMC too last year.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So like 2 of our security blankets gone. Not to mention, we're probably not going to do very well next year. Brand new coaching staff, rookie quarterback. So they get our 1st round pick next year too. You know what I'm saying? So like they also, let's just say we get like the 4th pick in next year's draft. They get that as well. So those are the reasons why I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, we get to take a pick. You know what I mean? I feel like we lost entirely too much for a hope and a dream, right? Like we have no idea like how any of these quarterbacks are actually going to be. Bryce Young didn't look good at the combine or on his pro day. He didn't look very good. Where I'm thinking we're going for Stroud, but at the same time too, he wasn't destined to be number 1, right? The Anthony Richards, that kid looked great, but do we really move up all the way to grab the quarterback from Florida? Probably not. You know what I'm saying? So like you just never know with quarterbacks. So I'm crossing my fingers and hands out. Like I'm hoping that at least if I see anything next year, it's that whatever quarterback we grab, he just kind of shows out. Kind of like how Cam did his rookie season, even though we didn't have a great season, like he tore it up. You know what I mean? Yeah, offensive rookie of the year, all that kind of fun stuff. Like I'm hoping that we at least, do some stuff like that. But it stung a little bit when I lost DJ, especially because also real quick, when I looked at who's drafting before us, I understand why they traded up because there's like 4 or 5 teams that possibly are actually looking for a quarterback. So we kind of had to. But I feel like we didn't have to trade with the Bears. Like the Cardinals, I think, are sitting at number 3 or 4. I think we could have probably traded them, and we wouldn't have had to lose DJ Moore because of it. You know what I'm saying? So we trade up with maybe the Cardinals, even the I think the Broncos have like the 3rd pick. You know what I mean? Maybe them too. They're not looking for a quarterback either, and they still have 2 receivers that they're heavily relying on. So we probably don't lose DJ Moore in that trade either. So I don't think we needed number 1.
Got you. Yeah, no, I kind of agree with that too. And it is kind of interesting that they didn't have one in mind. Like they said, they're basically zeroing in on CJ Stroud or Bryce Young as like the talk or whatever, but it's like you would think if you're moving to number one, you know who you're going to go get,
Yeah.
Not just like you're going for, and then you're still going to do some more analysis. So, Pop says, and this is true too. Make signing. They did sign Andy Dalton to a 2-year deal, and he would be kind of the veteran segue or maybe just a veteran backup.
Yeah. So I saw that.
Yeah,
I saw that. I kind of want to answer. Pops is right. So like we did sign Dalton. So I think a 2-year deal. I think it's 2 years actually. I don't think it's one. And I like that. So honestly, Richardson's kind of my favorite quarterback out of the group. He really is. So in order for us to possibly, let's see what happens. Maybe sit behind Dalton for a year and develop Richardson to take over maybe next year. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe if Dalton goes down, I think it would actually be legit. You know what I mean? So let's not force the rookie into something that we don't need to force him into. And we've been seeing a lot of rookie quarterbacks getting hurt the last, 2 years or so, right? So to Pop's comment, like I actually would be okay with that. I actually really like Richardson. I think he'll be great.
Got you, man. I think that would be, but it's funny, like you said earlier, like would you have to have gone all the way up to number one to get him? So a couple more trades on here. The Dolphins did go get Jalen Ramsey, which is kind of interesting. But I don't really know, they basically had a really good corner that they released in Butler. Maybe not as flashy as Ramsey, but Ramsey is like, I don't know, what I'm saying? Like he talks a lot, but he still have the game to back it up? I don't know.
Nope. He was the most targeted cornerback last year. He was even more targeted than Diggs. They were
don't have it no more
last year.
Yeah, I think so. It's interesting though. The Rams have done that, but they've basically done nothing but like shed salary so far. They haven't really made any acquisitions. I did like though Darren Waller to the Giants. Well, not for the Giants, I guess, but for him and the fact that the Giants are actually trying. They're actually trying to get him some weapons. And they got him, I think, for
7th round. I think, right?
What's that?
Was it a 7th round? I think it was 7th round, right?
Yeah, I think it was like a 7th round pick. Which again, it's like now the Giants have to take his contract and pay it, but for a 7th rounder, you're not going to get production like you'll probably get out of him. The other guy on here, Austin Eckler, has been given permission to seek a trade. So he's likely out of San Diego. I do want to run through really quick the welcome back segment. We got the re-signings, and we got our boy on there, Beachum, re-signed with the Cardinals for a 2-year deal. And I really like this, especially because last week, he went on the radio and basically was mentioning Kyler Murray and mentioning some of the things that he felt Kyler Murray needed to do to be a better leader and to step up. And I was like, oh man, that might have spelled the end of his days in Arizona. But alas, he's back. I think that the Cardinals know what they have in him. He's the only lineman to start all the games last year for the Cardinals. So big up to Kelvin Beachum. We'll be glad to have him back, I'm sure. Marcus as well. So that's what's up.
Yeah, I was super happy, man, because like I said, when you said the comment came out, I was like, yeah, he's gone. He's not going. So I said it's over with. But I think I talked to him today, so I think something's happy, for him to come back. So it's good. It's excellent for me because I think wherever he would have went, I still would have did some stuff with him and go where he was going. But it's just gonna be much easier to be here, and I could be able to go to the games more and do my thing there. So I was super happy about that when I seen that. I was like, because it came out yesterday that he had signed, but he didn't sign. So I had talked to him, like he was like, "It's looking good." That's all he had told me, but he didn't say nothing. And then today it became official. And I think the main thing was his family. His family likes it here. His kids going to school here. He has a relationship with people here, so it just made things easier. And I think he knows Kyler might not come back next year. Because Kyler got hurt late in the season. So when he come back, they might not be doing too good. So it might save him. So so maybe that following year it might be all forgotten. So
gotcha.
It just happened. But I think he did say that because he thought he was gonna be gone. So hey.
At least he was honest, though.
Yeah, so it can't.
That's what I loved. That's what I loved because nobody's saying it.
Nobody's saying it. Yeah.
Right.
I was actually really glad that somebody from the team actually said it because maybe Kyler will take some initiative. Be like, you know what, like he's right.
He won't do that, but I see what you're trying to say.
Right. Maybe.
It sound good, but
exactly. Exactly.
But I think somebody from the Cardinals organization liked it too, what he was saying. So that's like their little endorsement at the same time of like, see, you know what I'm saying? They didn't just immediately be like, okay, he's off the table now. So, so that's what's up. Payne from the Commanders did get a big deal after signing the franchise tag. He got a big deal, so he's officially locked up. And I'm hoping that's what happens with Pollard next. Is even though they tagged him, he can get a deal. Michael Thomas coming back to the Saints when it looked like he was basically done with the Saints and just sitting himself out. But I guess he's excited about Carr. We'll see. I did like the Cowboys coming back with Donovan Wilson, and then also they signed Leighton Vander Esch, which I was kind of iffy. I was kind of 50-50 about that, but he's a Cowboy. He was drafted by the Cowboys, so I do like that
He played well last year too, though. He did his thing. Like the year before, he always get injured, but he played like his old self. Remember him, Jalen Smith was doing a Woodpack thing. So
right.
But I think he'll be okay, man. I think he'll be all right because we don't expect that much out of him no more. Because he was a first round draft pick, so we was like, hey, what you gonna do? But now I think we don't expect that much out of him, so we just get what we get. So I think it's a icing on the cake. So
I agree. As long as he can stay healthy, and also I do think that Jalen Smith being released was like a little bit of lighting on this.
Yeah,
like, I think it kind of scared him straight a little bit. So so that's what's up. Yeah, Stephanie Washington, she said she did not like the Darren Waller to the Giants.
Yeah,
he's a baller, but Vegas didn't embrace him even though he balled out for them. So I don't know. Hopefully he can stay off the injury block though a little bit too. I do want to finish up real quick with the cut tracker. And some surprising ones. Now, we had our guys from last week that have been cut, but I took them off if they were signed in the meantime. So there a couple people were gone. But Matt Ryan came out today. That's going to cost the Colts a lot of money, but obviously that was a failed experiment last year. Calais Campbell, do you guys think that this is the end of the road for him after being released by the Ravens?
No. I think he can go somewhere and help. I think he go to a contender. I think he's right there. I think he's like, what's the guy from Seattle that went to the Rams?
Dang, I know
his name. Wagner.
Yeah.
So I think he like that. I think he could go to a contender and help out, but that's all he can do. I think it might be his last year, but I think he can help a contender. Yeah. Like maybe Kansas City would be a good spot for him. I think that he could go there. I think that'd be real good.
Yeah, I do know that he does want to continue playing for at least one more year, so he'll be somewhere.
He's a good guy too. He's a real good guy. Always been a lovable guy, so I always try to root for the good guys.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's quite a bit.
That's why I'm hoping that it's not the end of the road for him, because I do think he still brings a lot of value too in the locker room too. So, Adam Thielen, it's gonna be interesting to see him on a different team. I know he can still go out and get catches, but it's like he's the Minnesota guy, right? So I don't know where he might land, but that was kind of tough for the Vikings, I think.
Panthers, go get him, man. I think he'll be a
Panther.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good spot for him.
Yeah, I think they're meeting with him tomorrow. Actually, I actually kind of see him as a Panther. We'll see though.
They got to get the WB quota back up, right? They're like, you know what I'm saying? We messed up our ratio. You know what I'm saying? We lost we can get Adam Thielen in there. Maybe that's what it is. But that'll be pretty cool landing spot. They're gonna need something now that DJ's gone.
Yeah, for sure.
They're gonna really hurt though. They're gonna realize what they had, man. That he was really good. He was better than I think that they gave him credit for. So,
bro, he was the top receiver for the last three. Not last because he had nobody to throw it to him, but the last three before that, he was the top receiver in the league.
Yeah, crazy. Leonard Floyd, a Georgia boy, was released by the Rams, and the Rams actually been releasing a lot of people left and right, trying to get that salary cap back down. But hey, it worked for them. You know what I'm saying? It worked for them. They got their Super Bowl, so I'm sure they don't really care right now. And I would trade some down years for a Super Bowl, you know what I'm saying, after as long as it's been. So, Pop says Campbell to Kansas City. That could be, he'd be a discounted over a Frank Clark type of thing, but he could bring something similar like that. Pop said for $5 million per year, the price was right versus Wagner, talking about Leighton Vander Esch, and I definitely agree with that. That's a better bang for our buck, and he's a lot younger than Wagner too. So, all right, so that's what it is. Now, obviously, we didn't get to all the news, all the signings, because there's so many. I was going to check the front page real quick one more time because I thought, there might even be some more signings while we were on here together. So before we sign out, I do want to see. Oh, there is a new one. Montgomery from the Bears signed with the Lions on a 3-year deal.
Is that the receiver / running back? Montgomery?
Yeah. That's pretty cool. I know that the Lions like to use their backs out of the backfield a lot, but Jamal Williams is going to be officially gone from there, which is another interesting story because he had a career year and led the league in touchdowns, and now they're not even trying to bring him back. So,
Hey, is that Byron Jones up there, 24 for Dolphins?
yeah.
I would take him back, man. I think he got injured a lot, but I wouldn't mind getting him back.
Right, and it's
That's
interesting
what a lot of
because
people were saying actually.
yeah, and he's really solid. So it's like for them to release him and then go and trade for Ramsey is like, I think Ramsey even made more or just about the same. I don't know. So he's out there. Yeah, maybe he can come back. I was thinking what happened before Gilmore did. You know.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But we'll leave it right there. We'll go ahead and get ready to shut this thing down. The hour went by quickly. But I'm glad we got to talk sports and a lot of the NFL news, because that's pretty exciting. But after yesterday, you know what I'm saying, so much action, so many players going left and right. It'll be cool to see where the dust settles, and maybe we'll give out some grades on who did the best in free agency in our opinion. So, dang, you both look behind you at the same time. I thought I better check too. What's going on?
No, my dog's out there playing with her feeding bowl. So I was like, yo, quiet back there. Maybe a little too much
It's all
noise.
good. No, I'm just messing around. But yeah, I think that's about it. Now, the only other thing I was going to talk about is Javonte Davis and Ryan Garcia. They had their first press conference, got heated, got into each other's face already. So I'm definitely excited for that fight next month. We'll be all over that. But I think that's just about it for the week. Reminder one more time: get in on that bracket tournament. Mm-hmm. Definitely want to get a good competition going there, and we'll have some kind of a prize rolling out for the winner of that as well. So I think that's it. Strizzy, you have anything else you want to land us off on?
Nothing I can think about, man. I feel like we hit everything, or at least the good things. You know what I'm saying? The primary things.
Exactly. Hold your head, John Morant, though, still. And I'm like, man, that strip club still pisses me off. Like, you shouldn't be doing something like that. But go check out the videos.
Denver did some. You think about it, Denver did some whack stuff late in the past years, man.
That's true.
I don't like Denver.
That's not the place to be. All right, we'll go ahead and wrap it up there, though. That was episode 185 of Say Like a Champ. We'll be back next Tuesday. But until then, it's your boy A-Dub.
And your boy Striz.
Taco Tuesday, man. Go get your taco, man.
Yes, sir.
Peace out.
Peace.